And another thing I want to talk about, guys, really quick, is how it hurts me a little bit and it's frustrating because it was revealed to me that the reason why my family was upset, well, my three sisters were upset with me and mad at me because my mom passed away the same way my grandma did, might I add. They said because I left with my son after my mom told me that we probably should just go ahead and go to a shelter. She was saying that like there wasn't going to be any changes in the way my family was treating me and how like the way I was feeling, because I was trying to talk to her and tell her, I don't like how, like, even when I was pregnant, my sisters was like trying to fight, and then my other sister was upset talking about some my son was supposed to be her son, and I was like, that was really strange. And then to find out that she was talking to my baby's dad after my son was born, after my son and I left the house, they somehow had each other's number and were talking. And he was asking me, why didn't my sister call me and tell me certain things? And she was telling me how she was upset with him. And I was like, oh, great. They must have been messing around with each other at some point. Maybe that's why she told me my son was supposed to be her son. I was like, how is my son supposed to be your son? And he came out of me. That's the crazy part. So anyways, it really made me really sad to finally hear from my uncle that it was confirmed, that confirmation that my sisters thought it was my fault that my mom passed away. And that really hurt me so bad because I love my mom probably more than they do because I didn't disrespect her the way one of my sisters did. Even one of my other relatives told me that they didn't like how my mom was allowing that sister to be disrespectful to her and my grandmother. And my grandma felt the stress that they think that my mom felt is the stress my grandma felt, because they didn't regard her because of the way my grandma allowed certain things to happen in the family back when my granddad was still living, when my mom was little, which is understandable because kids want to protect their moms. But like they didn't have the capability to see the full situation and to like have forgiveness, to be like, that was in my grandma's younger years, and she needs help now. Well, when she was still alive, um she passed away back in February 13th, 2022, and then my mom died in April 7th, and my baby's dad happened to be over there that day, he says. And so I found that quite strange, because I'm like, how your big bald headed black ass was over there and you knew about my mom's death, and then you came telling me about it. How were you, and me and you weren't even talking for months? Like, because I was pissed off with him. I saw the moves that he was trying to make. He was trying to decide to suddenly come back around tax time so that he could act like he was around to help us. He took us out to dinner so he can be able to say, I don't say I never did anything for you. Taking us out to dinner one time and all of a sudden coming to get me a phone that I could have got for myself, but you were being generous, so I allowed you to do it and be helpful, because I didn't want to be that woman that tried to say this dude was a deadbeat, and not give him the opportunity to provide for us and his son at least. But then I saw that it was manipulation. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that, because he's toxic. And if my son grew up around him, he's going to be the same toxic individual. In fact, his dad already let me know that he would leave my son with his sisters. And that doesn't sound too good by the deaths that have been happening in that household. I like these people. And then he says he's connected and have some ties to people in the industry, and he might be telling the truth. Somebody else, my other ex before him, was laughing because I still remained friends with him at the time. And then after a little bit later, I had dated him again, but then I saw how there was a pattern that of in these men that I was attracting, so, which was not good. So I was like, man, I need to do some more healing inside myself, because the guys that I was attracting, I was like, man, ain't no way. So, um, well, I've been like, there's one guy who's a lot better, but I'm just not right now trying to date anybody, and he knows that, so he's trying to like just be my friend. But it's a guy who says he has a calling to be a pastor, and I'm like, he's a different ethnicity than myself, so I really don't want the backlash from people. Like they already come at me anyways, even when I'm not even doing anything to people. So imagine if I'm a chocolate first lady of a church to a vanilla pastor. Heck no. But I told my baby I don't know about that. But yeah. Anyways, this is about like my family blaming me, because the reason why I'm saying this is because they always tried. I was always the person who had to take the fall for everybody. Even my dad, he's still alive, he could tell you if he tell the truth himself. If my sisters did something wrong, I was responsible, even if I was in the room sleep. It's funny now, but I used to be mad as hell when I was younger. If I was asleep and they were up doing something bad that they didn't have a business doing, that they should have known better than 555, I was somehow responsible because I was the oldest. And I'm supposed to lead by example. So if I'm asleep, they should have had they tail in the bed sleep too. But no, I'm getting woke up, whipped with the extension cord all on my body and stuff. I'm like, dang, I can't wait till I get older. That, and then I got older, and then when I got to a certain age, it's like the times was speeding past. It's like, for instance, when I was 27, or like between 24 and 27, it's like I was like, I'll say 27, it's like time sped up fast all of a sudden. I didn't really get to, it's like I'm still in myself, still 27, but now I'm 32 years old. Like the time just sped up, and I noticed even other people saw how time sped up literally, and it sped up like faster and faster. And it's like, even though I'm physically 32 years old, to myself, I'm 28 or 29. I'm 28 because time just went by way too fast. But, anyways, it just hurt me that my family was blaming me for my mom's death, and I wasn't even there. If anything, why don't they question my dad? He's the only one who was downstairs when my mom passed away. And then instead of getting the phone and calling ambulance, he was calling my sisters to call the ambulance, I think. But and he said it took a while. So I'm like, golly, man. So and by the way, guys, can some of you people out there start making a plan of action for your family? Like if some sort of natural disaster takes place, like even some sort of health issue, like if somebody need the ambulance, what to do in that case, so people don't just be freaking out, just stuck, not doing anything. Actually take action. And I know that's easier said than done when you don't go through some traumatizing events that often. But even people who live in hood areas where somebody getting shot up, there should be no excuse for y'all, because y'all experience that a lot, given the fact that a lot of people in the hood love to shoot people up for stupid stuff. And then the toxicity of growing up in some of these households where it's a lot of it's a lack of emotional intelligence at play. So yeah, I'm just, that's why I'm part of the reason why I'm telling this story, because I feel like both deaths could have potentially been saved had somebody been like quick enough to just call the ambulance, or if they even knew some medical assistance themselves to do like CPR. But CPR wasn't needed in this case. Somebody, all they had to do was go and get the phone, call an ambulance so we can get them to the hospital. But some of the decisions that was made, both, even when I saw what my mom was doing, that's why in the cards, my own cards, I asked, I think my grandma came back from my mom, I ain't gonna lie. But because the way that the her death happened, and my mom was just sitting there, and then she moved slowly to go put her hand on her stomach to start praying, but her stomach was inflamed on the side. I'm like, we need more than just prayer at this moment, baby, because I know prayers be powerful, but the entities that was within these vessels, I was like, I don't know if that prayer gonna work right now. So we need to go ahead and call the ambulance. Like the prayer can help, but yeah, it's not my fault that my mom died, and that was like very disrespectful for them to blame me, and then they treated me some kind of way. It's not my fault. Pay attention. The same way our mom died, ladies, my sisters, is the same way my mom died. Our mom died. That, how is it my fault? So if that means, if I stressed my mom out by taking my son and leaving like she also suggested, then that means you guys stressed grandma out and you made her pass away too, and you also weren't feeding her when you were the ones home with her the most. You didn't want to feed her. You felt like she was getting what she deserved. It's stressful with just one or two people doing it all on their own. And she was also stressed out because you guys weren't helping our mom out to go help our grandma. But then you want to blame me for the death. That's very ignorant. You all are old enough to know better. And that's why I'm speaking out about this stuff, because at this point, if you guys want to keep coming after me to take my son from me, I won't have anything to lose at that point. And I'll just protect him spiritually like I did when I was away from him the first time. Man. And plus, if something happened to me and I passed away, I wouldn't even be there for him anyways. I would have to do it from the spirit realm. So, and that breaks my heart, because there's people out here doing stuff like that come after people to mess with them. It's already bad enough. You got people in high places such as, what's this idiot's name? Malik Malachi, General Hellraiser. He took my money. He knows that I'm trying to establish something for my family to have a new legacy, and his punk ass is taking my money and then kicking me out. He was an immature individual. And this is somebody who wants to set himself up like he is in a position of leadership. And not saying he's not a leader, but some of the decisions that he made, it speaks for themselves. They speak for themselves, and it say otherwise. And I'm just like getting so sick and tired of it. So I'm like, if you, whatever you feel like in your minds that's going to affect me in my mind to stop me, then I'll let it go mentally and emotionally as much as I can, so that I can move forward to complete the task that I'm here to do. Like Taquan X said on to me, he was like, I have a purpose here to serve, even if it costs me my life. And that's, in my mind, that's how I think. The same way we were born like that, we came out of our mom's belly. The moment we started sliding out and we were here, that's just as how fast or how slow, but that's just as how quick, how I was going to say another word, but that's just as how fast as we can not be here. The same way it was quick for us to be here, we can be gone just as quick, if not faster, actually, is what I should have said. But the word I was thinking, I couldn't think of it at that moment. It's like it was there. But anyways, it's like I was sharing this moment um to share the real me, like to not be a fake individual. So yeah, it's stressful going through that. To be honest, I just feel more so tired, and I feel like I want to cry, thinking about this, to release, to heal from the situation, and then I'll gain more strength and then move forward and accept everything that may come my way and move forward, because my son, he's precious to me, and he was who I'm trying to start a new legacy of our family lineage with. But these people are trying to make it hard, and I'm like, well, if you want to do something that's going to create another version of an outcome, you guys won't like that even more than me trying to set things up and leave a legacy that is more conducive to society than this pitiful crappy shit that you guys want to do, like abandoning and abusing your position of authority to do some other toxic manipulation that, in the grand scheme of things, really doesn't get us or yourselves anywhere.